Hello everyone. In our last lesson of accountancy for class 11, we have studied about the objectives of accounting, about the role of accounting, about the qualitative characteristics of accounting and other topics like bookkeeping, accounting and accountancy and relation between them. In today's topic, we will learn about some very basic concepts of accounting, that is advantages of accounting, limitations of accounting, and finally we will continue with some basic terms of accounting. Now this basic terms of accounting is divided into two parts. Part 1 will have 14 basic terms and the rest of the basic terms will be explained in another separate video. Let's follow the video. In today's lesson, we will learn about concept of accounting, that is advantages, limitations and some basic terms of accounting. Starting with the advantages of accounting, a business organizations has several advantages of accounting. Only some of them had been mentioned over here and we will discuss one after the another. The first advantage of accounting is financial information about business. In explanation to this point, we can state that preparation of a balance sheet helps to know the position of assets and their values on one hand and the liabilities and the capital on the other hand for a business organization. Next advantage of accounting is assistance to management. Now management needs a lot of information for the effective running of business and this information is provided with the help of accounting. The management gets assistance in planning, decision making, controlling and various functions that it has to perform. The third advantage is replacement of memory. Now, as a business organization grows in size, complexity increases and it is not possible for a human being to remember all the transactions. Thus, accounting keeps a systematic record and summarizes them to help in maintenance of transactions. Fourth advantage is facilitates comparative study. By keeping a systematic record, accounting helps the owner to compare the financial transactions of one year with the financial transactions of the another year and finally compare the result of profit from one year to another year. Next is assessment of tax liability. Proper maintained records of the financial transactions helps to calculate income tax or GST and thus they can be audited and trusted by the taxation authorities. Financial institutions provide loan on the basis of the financial statements and thus financial statements or accounting help in raising of loan and this is the next advantage. Properly maintained accounts and the financial transactions supported by authenticated documents can be provided as a evidence in the court of law. Last but not the least, with the help of accounting, a total purchase price of the business can be determined when the business entity is being sold. And finally, also when a partnership firm gets dissolved due to the insolvency of a partner, goodwill of the partnership firm can also be ascertained with the help of accounting. Next, there are also several disadvantages or limitations of accounting. Some of them are discussed here. First one is accounting is not fully exact. This can be stated that accounting statements provide only incomplete information about the actual profit or loss of a business that can be known and when the business is closed down. Like if there is a theft of any cash resources, that is not recorded in accounting. The next disadvantage of accounting is unrealistic information. See, basically accounting records only the past event and there are continuous changes taking place in the business operations or business environment and such forecast cannot be measured in terms of accounting. So it turns out to be unrealistic as past events may not affect the future occurrence or future events of the business. The most important disadvantage of accounting is that accounting ignores qualitative information. Qualitative aspects of business units are completely ignored as they cannot be expressed in terms of money, like reputation of business, cordial relation between the employer and employee, and develop of new products and efficiency of the customers, etc., etc. This qualitative aspect also have effect on business organization and the accounting is not capable of recording the effects. Another important disadvantage is that the accounting ignores the effect of price level change. That is, accounting records all the values of its asset in terms of original cost or historical cost and these do not show the change of the value. As the change of the value is not shown for an asset, so the true financial position of a asset cannot be determined. Maybe there is an increase in the price of the building, maybe there is an increase in the price of the land, but they are not reflected in the financial statements of accounting. Last but not the least disadvantage turns out to be window dressing. Window dressing refers to the practice of manipulating accounts by showing a favorable position than the actual position. That is, the values are always increased. Thus, these are the limitations of accounting, and we will now start with some basic accounting terms and explain them in detail. There are several accounting terms, and thus we have divided the basic terms of accounting in two parts. In the first part of basic terms, we have business transactions, events, account, capital, drawings, liability, assets, receipts, expenditure, expenses, income, profit, gain, and loss. And thus we will discuss one after the another. Starting with the first term, that is business transactions. So we can say that a business transactions is an economic activity of a business which have its effect on the financial position. As you can see in the picture, whatever amount is received and paid, that is recorded in the business. The next term is event. So an event is a result of the transactions. What can be the result? The profit of the business, the closing cash balance, the closing amount of goods that are not sold, the closing capital after adding the profit, etc., etc. Next term is account. So an account is a summarized record of all the business transactions relating to a particular person or a item during a financial year. As you can see, the account is prepared in a T-shaped form. The left side of the account is the debit and the right side of the account is the credit side. This is also known as ledger account. Next is capital, which refers to the amount invested by the owner or the proprietor of a business. It may be in form of cash, it may be in form of goods or assets, whatever it may be. There are some accounting equations regarding capital, assets and liabilities which we will discuss in chapter number 6. Now we have drawings. Drawings does not refer to use of pencil for making a picture. Drawings refers to withdrawing of the money by the owner for his or her own personal use from the business. After drawings, we have liability. It refers to the amount which the business firm owes to the outsiders. And this liability can be further divided into two types: internal and external liabilities, and number 2 is non-current and current liabilities. Defining internal liabilities, the business owes a amount to the owner are known as internal liabilities. They can be the profit amount, they can be the capital provided by the owner. And coming up to external liabilities, whatever the business entity has to pay to the outsiders are known as external liabilities. Next, moving on to the second division, that is non-current liabilities and current liabilities, we can state that current liabilities are those liabilities which are to be paid normally within 1 year, and non-current liabilities are those liabilities which are normally paid or can be repaid even after 1 year. The next accounting term is asset. So asset is a property or a resource of the business which gives financial benefit to the business. These assets can be divided into three types: current asset, non-current asset. Non-current assets can be further divided into two more types, that is tangible and intangible assets, and the third part of the asset is fictitious asset. Discussing about the current asset, we can say that these assets are meant for sale by the business organization and can be converted into cash within 1 year. The other names of this asset are short-lived assets, active assets, floating assets, or circulating asset. The examples can be stock, the examples can be debtors, the examples can be liquid cash itself. Yes, cash itself gives benefit within a current year, so it will also be known as a current asset. Discussing about non-current asset are those assets which gives benefit to the business organization for more than 1 year for long-term basis. They can be further classified into tangible assets. These assets have physical existence, can be touched, seen and felt, and the other one is intangible assets. They do not have any physical existence but have effect on business, such as good. Third type of asset is fictitious or nominal asset. Basically, these assets do not realize any cash nor they have any further benefit. So these assets or the expenditure made for the assets are written in the debit side of the profit and loss account. Next is receipt, which can be further classified into capital receipt and revenue receipt. Inflow of cash in the business is receipt, which are small amount and repeated nature. They are known as revenue receipt, which are of large amount and non-repeated nature. They are generally known as capital. Discussing expenditure, we can say that money used for buying any asset or transfer of any property is known as expenditure. They are of three types: revenue expenditure, capital expenditure, and deferred revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure are those expenditure the benefit of which is received during only one accounting period or current year. They can be used to purchase goods and services. Defining capital expenditure, we can say that this expenditure gives benefit for more than 1 year in the business organization. Deferred revenue expenditure are the expenditure which are revenue in nature, but basically they provide benefit which last between 3 to 7 years. Next, expenses are the payment of money made in producing and selling of goods and services. Now, there is a difference between revenue and income. Revenue is the amount of sales of goods that has been received, and expenses deducting from the revenue results in income of the business organization. Profit results from the normal business activity and thus can be termed that when the total revenue is more than the total expenses of a accounting period is a profit, and gain results as a non-recurring profit that is not from business organization. It can be from sale of any fixed asset or receipt of any income. Lastly, we have loss, which can be classified into two more types. One is normal loss, that is out of the business operations. When expenses are more than revenue, it is a loss. And the other one is a abnormal loss, which is uncertain in nature as a result of loss by fire or any accident or